Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are standing at a crossroads that could define their next championship window, and nobody saw this coming. While fans are still riding high from back-to-back World Series victories, the front office is quietly orchestrating a seismic shift that could shake the entire organization to its core. The question burning through Chavez Ravine isn't about another mega contract or blockbuster trade. It's about a homegrown kid who might just become the answer to a problem the Dodgers didn't even know they had. Max Muncy, the beloved power-hitting cornerstone who has terrorized opposing pitchers for years, is entering what could be his final season in Dodger blue. At 36 years old, with a modest $10 million team option picked up for 2026, Muncy represents both the glorious past and the uncertain future of this franchise. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. The Dodgers might already have his replacement waiting in the wings, and it's not who you think. Who? Welcome to the most fascinating storyline nobody's talking about in baseball right now. This isn't about Shohei Ohtani's otherworldly talent or Mookie Betts' brilliance. This is about survival, evolution, and the brutal reality that even championship dynasties must face. Father Time remains undefeated. Let's dive deep into the Max Muncy era first, because respect must be paid. This man has absolutely earned his flowers. Picked up his team option at just $10 million. Max Muncy atop that mountain with 209 career home runs, just 3 shy of passing the legendary Steve Garvey for 7th all-time in franchise history. That magical night when Clayton Kershaw struck out his 3,000th batter, Muncy was there, literally getting his knee smashed by a base runner trying to steal third. The injury could have derailed his season, could have ended his postseason, but Muncy, being Muncy, he battled back and contributed when it mattered most. That's the kind of warrior mentality you don't just find lying around in free agency. But here's the uncomfortable truth the Dodgers must confront. Muncy will turn 36 in August. He's slowing down. Not dramatically, not enough to bench him, but enough that the organization needs to start planning for life after Max. And this is where the story takes its most intriguing turn. The Dodgers have a significant problem brewing, and it's not the one you'd expect from a team coming off consecutive championships. They've gotten old. Not ancient, not ready for retirement homes, but old enough that alarm bells should be ringing in the front office. Freddie Freeman is 36. Mookie Betts is 33. Teoscar Hernandez is 33. When you start listing ages like that, you realize this window, as wide as it seems, has a timer attached to it. This isn't panic time yet, not even close, but it is planning time. The Dodgers have built something special, something sustainable, and part of sustainability means having the next generation ready to step up when the current stars take their inevitable step back. That's just baseball reality, as harsh as it sounds. So the question becomes, what's the plan at third base, not just for 2026, but beyond? For a while, it seemed like the answer might come from across the Pacific Ocean. Munetaka Murakami, the 25-year-old Japanese slugger, was the shiny new toy everyone was talking about. The guy is an absolute monster, 6'2", 213 pounds of left-handed power. In 2022, he crushed 56 home runs and won the Japanese version of the Triple Crown. 56 home runs. That's the kind of number that makes general managers wake up in cold sweats, thinking about what they're missing. But here's where reality crashes the party. Murakami strikes out. A lot. Like an alarming amount. His bat speed is electric, absolutely explosive, but that same aggressive approach makes him vulnerable to anything that isn't a fastball. Changeups, curveballs, sliders. These are the pitches that have historically exposed Japanese power hitters making the transition to Major League Baseball. Not saying he can't adjust, but it's a legitimate concern. Last year added another wrinkle to the Murakami story. He suffered an oblique injury that limited him to just 56 games. However, and this is where it gets interesting, he still managed to hit 22 home runs in those 56 games. Do the math on that pace, and you're looking at potentially 40-plus home run power over a full season. The raw talent is undeniable. But here's the thing. The smoke around Murakami and the Dodgers has cooled considerably. What started as a raging bonfire of speculation has dwindled to barely smoldering embers. The Dodgers, it seems, have moved on, whether it's concerns about his strikeout rate, questions about how quickly he can adjust to MLB pitching, or simply a philosophical shift in how they want to build their roster. The Murakami ship appears to have sailed away from Los Angeles Harbor, so if the big Japanese slugger isn't coming to save the day, what's plan B? The Dodgers did re-sign Miguel Rojas, and he'll certainly get some reps at third base spelling Muncy throughout 2026. Rojas has proven himself to be exactly what his reputation suggests, a solid veteran presence, defensively capable, and clutch when needed. Remember Game 7 of the World Series? Rojas was there delivering when it mattered most. His unofficial biography could be titled Be Ready, because that's exactly what he always is. But Rojas is 36 years old and signed only a one-year deal. He's not the future. He's the bridge, the mentor, the professional who can hold down the fort while the real answer develops. And that real answer might just be Alex Freeland. If you're a casual Dodgers fan, that name might not ring immediate bells. He's not a household name yet, not splashed across ESPN highlights every night. But within the organization, Freeland is the team's number 4 prospect, and more importantly, he might be exactly what the Dodgers need for their next chapter. Freeland came up through the system as a shortstop, always blocked at that position by the abundance of talent the Dodgers have stockpiled. When Tommy Edman went down with an injury last season, the Dodgers called up Freeland for his first taste of big league action. The results? Not spectacular. He hit just 190, looking like exactly what he was, a young player getting his feet wet in the majors without consistent playing time. But here's what the Dodgers saw that made them excited about his future: versatility. Freeland played 17 games at third base, 15 at second base, showing he could handle multiple positions. And while his bat didn't immediately translate, the organization saw enough to believe in his potential. The swing is there, the tools are there, and most importantly, the aptitude to learn is there. Think about this trajectory. Justin Turner wasn't a star when the Dodgers found him. Max Muncy wasn't a household name when Andrew Friedman signed him. The Dodgers have a proven track record of identifying players with untapped potential and developing them into stars. Could Alex Freeland be the next name on that list? The pathway makes sense. Freeland probably starts 2026 in AAA, continuing to develop and refine his game. When the Dodgers need an infielder, whether due to injury or just to give veterans a breather, Freeland gets the call. He sits with Miguel Rojas, learns what it means to be a big league professional, absorbs the lessons about being ready, and gradually earns more playing time. By 2027, when Muncy's contract expires and the Dodgers need to make decisions about the future, Freeland could be ready to take over full-time at third base. He'd be affordable, controllable for years, and most importantly, young. This is exactly how smart organizations transition from one generation to the next without massive drop-offs in production. But let's address the elephant in the room. This transition is hard, really hard. We've seen it play out recently with other Dodgers prospects. Dalton Rushing got his cup of coffee in the majors and struggled mightily, going from being the best player on your team your entire life, getting regular at-bats, being in a groove, to suddenly riding the bench and pinch hitting once every 3 games. That's a brutal adjustment that breaks many young players. Freeland faces that exact same challenge. He's been an everyday shortstop his whole career, the guy the team relies on, and now he needs to reinvent himself as a utility infielder who might play once or twice a week while learning to master third base. It's a completely different mental game, requiring patience, professionalism, and an ability to stay ready when opportunity knocks. There was brief chatter about Bo Bichette potentially being an option at third base for the Dodgers, but that never made much sense. Bichette is a shortstop who's already being asked to transition to second base wherever he signs. Asking him to then learn third base on top of that, that's way too much for any player to handle, regardless of talent level. The Dodgers wisely seem to have moved past that idea entirely. The beauty of the Freeland plan is that it fits perfectly with the Dodgers' current organizational philosophy. They're not handing out massive long-term contracts anymore. They're not committing 8 or 9 years to players in their 30s. Instead, they're offering short-term deals with higher average annual values to establish stars while developing young talent from within. Look at how they've approached this entire offseason. They're telling potential free agents, you want to play here? You want a chance to win championships? Great. We'll pay you very well on a short-term deal, but we're not mortgaging our future for you. It's a position of incredible power, and it's one they've earned through consistent excellence. Kyle Tucker's name has been floating around in trade rumors, with some suggesting the Dodgers could target him. But would they give him the 7 or 10-year mega deal he's probably seeking? Almost certainly not. The Dodgers would more likely offer something like 4 years at $50–55 million per season. Huge money annually, but with an escape hatch that doesn't haunt them when Tucker is 37 years old. This is the delicate dance the Dodgers must perfect over the next few seasons. They're back-to-back World Series champions with a core of players who are absolute legends, but also undeniably aging. Freddie Freeman, despite his brilliance, is 36. How many more elite seasons does he have left? Probably several, but Father Time catches everyone eventually. The same calculation applies to Muncy, to Teoscar, to every veteran on this roster. The key is avoiding the fate that's befallen so many championship teams, getting old all at once. The 2013 Red Sox won the World Series and then completely fell apart. The 2016 Cubs won it all and never quite recaptured that magic. The Dodgers are determined not to follow that pattern, and their focus on developing young talent like Alex Freeland, Dalton Rushing, River Ryan, Gavin Stone, and hopefully Roki Sasaki is exactly how they prevent it. These young players aren't just cheap contracts. They're learning from the absolute best in the business. Imagine being Alex Freeland, sitting in the dugout next to Mookie Betts, watching how Freddie Freeman prepares for at-bats, seeing Shohei Ohtani's work ethic up close. That's a baseball education money can't buy. These kids are being groomed in an environment of championship excellence, and when their time comes, they'll be ready. The third base situation perfectly encapsulates everything the Dodgers are about right now. Max Muncy gets his well-deserved victory lap in 2026, cementing his legacy as one of the franchise's all-time greats. Miguel Rojas provides veteran stability and mentorship, and Alex Freeland waits in the wings, developing, learning, preparing to take the torch. Is this plan foolproof? Of course not. Freeland could fail to develop as hoped. Muncy could have a resurgent season that makes the Dodgers want to bring him back for 2027. An unexpected trade could bring in a third baseman nobody saw coming. Baseball is unpredictable that way, which is part of what makes it so fascinating. But if you're betting on anyone to navigate these choppy waters successfully, you bet on the Dodgers. Andrew Friedman and this front office have proven time and again they know exactly what they're doing. They've built a machine that churns out wins, develops talent, and makes smart decisions even when they're unpopular in the moment. The casual fan might not be thinking about third base depth right now. They're probably still celebrating that World Series victory, as they should be, but the front office never sleeps. They're already 3 steps ahead, planning for scenarios most of us haven't even considered. What happens if Muncy gets hurt again? What if he suddenly hits a wall at 36 and can't produce anymore? What if another team comes calling with a trade offer the Dodgers can't refuse? These are the questions keeping Andrew Friedman up at night, and having Alex Freeland as an answer provides crucial insurance. Here's the other thing nobody's really talking about. The position itself might be changing. Third base has traditionally been a power position, the hot corner where you stick your big right-handed slugger. But modern baseball is increasingly position fluid, with teams valuing versatility over traditional roles. Maybe the Dodgers see third base as less about finding the next great power hitter and more about plugging in whoever makes the most sense in any given situation. Freeland's ability to play multiple positions actually makes him more valuable in this context. Need a third baseman? He's got you. Shortstop gets hurt, he can slide over. Second base needs coverage, no problem. This flexibility is exactly what championship teams need, especially during the grueling playoff run when injuries and matchups matter most. Look back at the 2024 postseason. The Dodgers didn't win because they had the best player at every position. They won because they had the right player for every situation. That's organizational depth, and that's what Alex Freeland represents. Another chess piece for Dave Roberts to deploy strategically. The clock is ticking on this current Dodgers core, but it's not midnight yet. Not even close. This team probably has another 3 to 5 years of championship contention with the current group, assuming health and continued excellence. But by 2027 or 2028, they need to have successfully transitioned to the next generation, and that process starts now with players like Freeland. Think about how The New England Patriots handled their quarterback transition from Tom Brady to, bad example. Think about how the San Antonio Spurs seamlessly moved from David Robinson to Tim Duncan to Kawhi Leonard, always staying competitive. That's what the Dodgers are trying to build. Sustained excellence that outlasts any individual player, no matter how great. Max Muncy deserves every bit of respect for what he's accomplished. The man is a Dodger legend, period. His postseason heroics alone guarantee him a special place in franchise history. But legends age, and organizations that want to remain great must plan accordingly. It's not disrespectful to acknowledge reality. It's actually the ultimate form of respect, building something that lasts beyond any one player's career. So as we head into 2026, watch the third base situation closely. Watch how the Dodgers manage Max Muncy's playing time, keeping him fresh for October. Watch how they develop Alex Freeland, giving him opportunities to prove himself without overwhelming him. Watch how Miguel Rojas mentors the young guys, teaching them what it means to be a professional. This isn't just about one position on one team. This is about organizational philosophy, about building something sustainable, about respecting both the present and the future simultaneously. The Dodgers are attempting something incredibly difficult, staying great while getting younger. Most teams can't pull that off. Most teams either mortgage the future for present success or tear it down to rebuild. The Dodgers are trying to have their cake and eat it too. And you know what? They just might pull it off. Because that's what championship organizations do. They make the hard decisions look easy. They identify talent others miss. They develop players into stars. They win, and they keep winning year after year after year. Alex Freeland might not be a household name today, but don't be surprised if in 3 years we're all talking about him as the next great Dodgers success story, the next Justin Turner, the next Max Muncy, the next homegrown star who became integral to another championship run. The future of third base in Los Angeles is unwritten, but the opening chapter is fascinating. Max Muncy riding off into the sunset as a champion and a legend. Miguel Rojas providing wisdom and stability. Alex Freeland learning, growing, preparing for his moment in the spotlight. This is how dynasties sustain themselves, and the Dodgers are showing everyone how it's done. So buckle up, Dodgers fans. The ride isn't over. It's just entering its next thrilling chapter, and third base might be where the story gets really interesting. Championship windows don't stay open forever, but with smart planning, elite development, and a little bit of luck, the Dodgers might just keep theirs open for years to come. The weekend is almost here, but in Dodgerland, the future is being written right now, one prospect at a time, one smart decision after another, always building toward the next championship parade, because that's what this organization does. They win, they plan, they develop, and then they win again. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Alex Freeland has what it takes to be the Dodgers' next third baseman? Is Max Muncy getting one last hurrah, or does he have multiple great seasons left? Should the Dodgers have pursued Munetaka Murakami harder, or is developing from within the smarter play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a real conversation going about the future of this franchise. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Dodgers' third base situation, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss our daily Dodger coverage, and share this with every Dodgers fan you know. We're building something special here, and you're all part of it. Hit me up on X and Instagram at JRodShow. I love talking baseball with you all, and some of the best conversations happen there. The Dodgers are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and we're here to break down every move, every decision, every player who might become the next championship piece. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. And remember, in Dodger Blue, we trust. Go Dodgers.